Okay. So here's the story. We're waiting for our guest to join, right? He's taking forever.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sprint downstairs, do a whole lap of my house, and see if I can make it back before he's gone. He's been gone like 10 minutes. So
Okay.
here's what I'm gonna try and do. All right. On the count of 3, I'm gonna drop my headset and go. All right. Whenever you say it.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm back.
Bro,
Did I make it?
Oh, he just joined.
Oh, I did it! Oh my god! I'm a beast.
Perfect. That was perfect.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's joining right now.
Whew. Oh my. Dude, I'm out of breath.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm never doing that. Dude, the looks my family was giving me. Wow. All right, welcome back to the 3rd episode of the TDD podcast. And today we have a little surprise. Special guest, Jack Gibby. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. Good friend of mine, good teammate of mine. So yeah, welcome, Jack. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a little fun fact for today. And this one was interesting. Oh god, I just clicked on an ad on accident. Okay, so fun fact, armadillos, like little like animal armadillo, their shells are apparently bulletproof. In fact, one Texas man was hospitalized, put in a hospital when he shot at an armadillo and the bullet ricocheted off an animal and it hit him in the jaw. So, wow.
How do you get these facts?
We literally just Google fun facts. So.
No, okay. My question is, I have several actually. So
Yes.
why does this man have the urge to shoot an armadillo in the first place?
I mean, he's from Texas. That might have something to do with it. Just a hinge.
Okay.
If he was from Florida, that would make 100% sense, but
100%.
I don't think they're native to Florida. And also, I've heard like armadillos are they're moving into Tennessee. Like they're everywhere now apparently.
I've never seen one.
I know. I haven't either, but apparently they're like a really invasive species. And they're like invading like Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, all those southern states. So
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, we have the topic of this episode is we're going to be making our playoff predictions. So, which team's going to beat which team and eventually our prediction for the Super Bowl.
So we're going to go down basically the entire set bracket.
Mhm.
We're going to go down the line. And we're going to start with AFC and then go to the NFC. And we're just going to make our picks, fill out our bracket basically, kind of like March Madness. And then our final Super Bowl picks. So I will go first. So the first game is Baltimore and Tennessee. That's our first wild card game. Honestly, I picked Tennessee because, and here's why. Tennessee's offense is so unstoppable. You've got Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Ryan Tannehill. They're all superstar players. You can't stop them when they're on a roll, especially Derrick Henry. Baltimore has a really good offense as well. Lamar Jackson just became the first QB ever to have back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons as a QB, so that's very big for him. But I don't think that it's going to be an offensive game. Let's just say that. But I think that the Titans will be able to outscore them, especially if the Titans defense gets around to stopping Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I also have the Titans win that game. And I was actually on the fence about this because recently the Ravens have been playing really, really well. But so have the Titans. And yeah, they lost to Green Bay in the snow at Lambeau, which I think is a big part of it. Like a team from the South, like in the snow in Lambeau, like that's one of the coldest stadiums in the NFL, I think. And I think that had a big role to play in it. But I really think Tennessee honestly has this game. If Derrick Henry keeps on doing what he's doing, I don't think you can stop him. I really don't. And if you can't stop him, you have A.J. Brown and Corey Davis.
Exactly.
And Ryan Tannehill. There's too many weapons on the offensive side. And not that Baltimore doesn't have any weapons. It's just I think that Tennessee's Derrick Henry is just he's just a different breed, man. This guy, he is like, I think he's outscored like multiple teams in the NFL this season. So I also have the Titans win that one.
All right,
Jack,
what about you?
Yeah, I got the Titans too, no matter what. I mean, I don't know. Derrick Henry, especially lately, like last few weeks, he's been going crazy. He got 2,000 yards this season. I just don't think there's any way they can stop him because Baltimore's defense hasn't been great this year. And that's the only way you're stopping Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, I got Titans all the way.
All right, next one. My team is in this. Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So here's the thing. I'm not siding with Pittsburgh because I'm a personal fan of them, but they do have Ben Roethlisberger back. He made the comeback against the Colts, calling his own plays. I feel like the main reason they lost against the Browns this previous week was because Mason Rudolph started, and they were resting starters to get ready for this wild card game. So I truly think that Pittsburgh could win with Ben Roethlisberger at QB. But on the other hand, I also think Cleveland is a really hyped up team right now. I think they really have what it takes to move on. And I think they're going to pull the upset again. Baker Mayfield, once he gets on a roll, he can't be stopped, especially since he has his receivers now. So I'm going to take Cleveland on this matchup.
Yeah, I'm actually going to disagree with you here. I personally want Cleveland to win. I'm kind of a Baker Mayfield fan. But I honestly think for some reason I just have a gut feeling that Pittsburgh, it's not anything like statistical or anything like that. It's literally just a feeling in my gut that I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game. I really do. And I mean, that's honestly the only reason I'm picking them is because I have a feeling. I don't know how else to explain it, but I have a feeling that they're just going to win this game. You know? Mm-hmm. Simple as that.
All right. I think out of the AFC wildcard games, this is gonna be the closest.
100%.
Yeah.
For real, yeah. The last matchup was won by like 2 points or something.
Yeah, 2 points.
I don't know. I think it's just gonna be hard to go against the Steelers, though. I know the Browns. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns won. Let me put it that way, because I mean, with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and they've been doing well lately too. But it's just two things. First of all, the Browns have no experience in the playoffs. Like, it's kind of hard to jump in right there. And the Steelers have a lot more experience in the playoffs. And also just, I don't know, I just think with Ben Roethlisberger back, like you said, Andrew, I just think that the Steelers offense is just going to dominate. So I'm going to take the Steelers.
All right, next one on the AFC in the final wild card game is the Colts and Bills. Personally, I'm going to take the Bills on this one. Yeah. A lot of people are saying that the Colts are going to upset the Bills, but I think the Bills are, in my opinion, the most dominant AFC team besides the Chiefs. I think that Josh Allen is definitely an MVP candidate. Stephon Diggs popping off as their new receiver. So I really think that the Bills offense cannot be stopped. So I'm going to take the Bills.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Bills in this game. And it's nothing against Indianapolis because I don't think the Bills are going to steamroll them at all. I think it's going to be a closer game than you think. But I think the Bills, they are going to pull it out. And it's like Andrew said, their offense is extremely high-powered, but also their defense is honestly probably really underrated. They have a really good defense that no one's talking about. And I think Phillip Rivers, he hasn't been as sharp as this year. I'm not going to lie. I think he's going to make a few turnovers. I think, if Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, their whole group gets the ball enough, I don't think Indianapolis can win this one.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jack, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with the Bills, too. Just the way they played Week 17, too. I mean, if you look at that was – their defense got, like, a bunch of turnovers and stuff, and they were doing everything perfect. And I just think it's going to be hard for the Colts. Colts defense is good. Jonathan Taylor has been doing really good for the Colts. But I just think it's going to be hard to beat the Bills right now. They're just doing really well. So I'm going to take the Bills.
All right. That's a good opinion. So we're going to hop over to the NFC now, the NFC wildcards. So the first game we have is Tampa Bay and Washington football team. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay because of the amount of weapons that they have on their offense is just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't think Washington's defense can hold up to that at all. Chase Young, if he pops off and is able to get Tom Brady, because Tom Brady can't scramble, so if Tom Brady's really relying on his offensive line. So if Tom Brady is able to make throws, Tampa Bay wins. If Tampa Bay folds in the pocket, I really think Washington will come away with the win. But in total, I think the weapons for Tampa Bay are too much. So I'm gonna take Tampa.
Yeah, I completely agree with Andrew. Honestly, I also picked Tampa Bay to win this game. It's probably a little bias of a pick because I love Tom Brady, but I think like Andrew said, every loss that Tampa Bay's taken, Tom Brady has been hit a lot. Like it all starts with pressure that Washington can put on Brady, and if they can land some hits on him, get a few sacks, he's it's I don't know, man. I don't think they can. I don't know. I don't think Washington can win the game overall unless they get hits on Brady, and that's essential. But lately, the Tampa Bay O-line's been doing really well, so I don't know. We'll have to see how that game goes.
Yeah, well, I hate Tom Brady, but
you see, that's where we disagree, my friend.
I still think the Bucs are gonna win, though. I don't know. They just looked really good the last few weeks, and I feel like Tom Brady's really getting into his groove with Antonio Brown. They've been doing really well together, and still got Evans and Godwin. Just with that offense, I don't know how the Bucs can lose to the Washington football team. I don't know. Washington's okay, but still, they were 7-9.
Yeah,
I just don't know. I think the Bucs are gonna win that pretty easily.
All right. Next game we have.
I want to say one more thing about Washington.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think this is probably the largest chance for an upset, honestly, because I feel like on any given day, Tampa Bay can lose. But then I still think Tampa Bay is going to win, but I think on any given day, the Washington football team can pop off. I really do. I mean, you look at their losses; they've actually had a really good streak. They lost to the Panthers, but they had a really good streak going. This team's not a bad team. I think they're way better than their record shows. But I don't know. I still think Tampa Bay is going to win, but I think it's going to be really close.
Yeah.
And I think there's a really good chance Washington could upset them.
Mm-hmm. All right, next game we have the Rams and the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks. I feel like for me, this is my upset game. I feel like the Rams can win certain big games, but then they'll lose against other games. So I think the Rams defense, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Russell Wilson, when he's on a roll, and he's got DK and he's got Tyler Lockett, and I think that Seattle is pretty much unstoppable on their offense. I do know that Seattle's defense is pretty poor, but I feel like if they can just outscore the Rams, it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you there, man. I think the Rams are gonna take this one. Russell Wilson recently he has not been playing good, man. I mean, look at his fantasy points. I had him. I benched him for Baker Mayfield. That's how bad it was. Like he was doing bad, man. I mean, I don't think he wins this game. I think Russell Wilson just can't get it done, and I think the Rams scrape by with the win.
All right, Jack.
This is a tough one. I think, other than that Browns and Steelers game, this is gonna be one of the closest ones. It's up there. I think Seattle's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be super close with Seattle's receivers, and I don't know. I just feel like all around Seattle has a better team. The Rams have been shaky. I don't know. I just like the Steelers in this game. Although I don't know a ton about both of these teams, but from what I've seen this season, I think that Seattle's going to win. They also beat the Rams in Week 16.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a week when they both had a shot at the title for the NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
So they were both trying to win, but Seattle won by 11 points. I think Seattle's going to do it again.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, next game we've got Chicago and New Orleans. I think for me, this is a no-brainer. I definitely think New Orleans is going to win that. You've got Alvin Kamara, who popped off against Minnesota, 6 touchdowns and a record. I don't think Chicago has been on a roll lately. Mitchell Trubisky has taken the hate that he has received and turned it into something else.
Oh yeah, he's gone crazy.
But I do think New Orleans is overall the most dominant team against Chicago, so I think that New Orleans is going to come away with a dub on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I don't think New Orleans has it to go all the way, but I do think they're a better team than Chicago, and I would really like to see Chicago upset New Orleans, but I personally don't think it's gonna happen. But I'd be down to see that. I would I would love to see that. That would make me smile. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay, Jack.
All right. I'm gonna have to take the Saints just because they've been so dominant. But I will say, it's not 100% because Alvin Kamara just got COVID, right? I mean, so first of all, I'm not 100% sure whether Kamara will be in this game, but
I think he will.
I think he will. I think he's gonna be back by then. But still, coming off of having COVID, I don't know how much that'll hurt him or how much it'll hurt the team. So I think the Saints are going to pull it off, whether or not they have Kamara, but it's just going to be tight. And I think the Saints could lose, but just not to the Bears. The Bears have been so shaky. They lost to the Lions, to the Vikings. They lost to the Saints too this season. They've just had they've been really inconsistent. I just think that the Saints are going to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to cut back over to the AFC now. We all picked Tennessee to move on from Baltimore, so our next game is Tennessee and Kansas City. Okay, so here's the thing about Kansas City. So they have 2 losses. They are claimed the best team in the league. Here's the problem that I have with Kansas City. Kansas City is like that team in Madden that only runs 4 verts, and the only formation they run is 4 verts. And the problem with Patrick Mahomes is he's obviously a great QB, but he drops so far back into the pocket. I was watching another podcast that I will put a link in the description to, but Kansas City, what will happen is their O-line is really solid, right? But Patrick Mahomes will drop so far back into the pocket, he causes his own sacks. And so what happens is the Titans defense, which is not very good, and it's historically bad for 3rd down conversions. But if they're able to stop Patrick Mahomes, I think that they can actually win this game. And since Kansas City's defense has been a little shaky, especially these last couple of weeks, I'm actually going to take Tennessee in a win over Kansas City. Plus, they played them last year in the divisional, and they got beat out by Kansas City. I think that mindset of being beat will help them win. So I'm picking Tennessee as the winner over Kansas City.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Wait, am I going with the Chiefs? I am going with the Chiefs. So, yeah, like you said, the Titans defense is historically bad. Like, I mean, it's an awful defense. I honestly see there's no way that they can contain Mahomes and that Kansas City offense. I don't think it's possible for them. As much points as the Tennessee offense can put up, their defense has to be able to put some stops up if they want to win this game. And I honestly don't think they can. Their defense is just not it. And I think Kansas City's defense is not the best, but I think it is good enough to maybe get a stop or two. And that is going to be the decider of the game. It's not going to be the offense, it's going to be the defense who can get more stops, and that's going to decide the game. And I think Kansas City is going to win this game. So
yeah, I think I agree. It's going to be all about the defense, just because Tennessee, just all season, their defense hasn't been nowhere near as good as it was last year. And Kansas City, they've had a bit of shakiness, but I just think they've been so dominant this year. They lost week 17 to the Chargers, but that game, they were starting all their backups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, let's see. I'm looking at their schedule right now. Who else did they lose to? The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Early.
Raiders early though. That
Yeah,
was
that was like
the
week
first
5.
half.
They've won their last. I can't even count. A lot of games. Let's see. That's 10 games before they lost to the Chargers week 17. They were just so dominant, and I just think the Titans defense has been so shaky. Kansas City's just been so strong. I mean, they beat the Saints week 15, and the Saints were good at that time. And I just think there's no way that the Titans can stop the Chiefs from winning.
Yeah. The only thing I will say though, so the reason why I'm picking Tennessee again is it's not that I don't believe in the Chiefs, and I believe that the Chiefs can win this game. I'm saying that the Chiefs have a weakness, and if the Titans can exploit that weakness,
But what's that
which I
week?
believe they can't. Patrick Mahomes. So Patrick Mahomes. So I'm basically repeating my points. Is Patrick Mahomes? If you look throughout the sack history, Patrick Mahomes shuffles so far back into the pocket that he will. What will happen is the best O line that you can have can't contain. Like basically, so I was watching a statistic where Joey Bosa will come and basically rush him in a straight line because he's dropping so far back. So that allows for an easy sack no matter how good your offensive line is.
Yeah, well,
So
Yeah, but
I
there's
just wanna say
an
that,
easy
though.
counter to that.
Well,
Here,
that's
Jack,
just
you go.
that's kind of what Mahomes is best at. Though.
Exactly. That it's it.
Well,
The
what
variable
Mahomes
is
does, he moves around in the pocket so
Yeah.
much, even out of the pocket. And he does those sidearm throws. And he does it crazy. He's just so athletic. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Andrew. But I just think that part of that is he knows he's really good at like juking people out. And you can see, I'm sure there's tons of highlight reels of him
Yeah.
just like moving outside the pocket, going on runs, throwing it from like way near out of bounds and making crazy plays. And I just think he's so athletic, he's so good that, I mean, even though that may be slightly a weakness, it's made up for by how talented he is.
Yeah, I completely agree with Jack. I agree with your point again, Andrew, that he does drop back too far, and that could be a weakness for them. But I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes, and this man is probably one of the most talented quarterbacks ever, like athletic wise, and honestly, just quarterback wise in general. He's so smart. He knows what he's doing. I mean, he had that one bad play against Miami that went viral. He went like 40 yards back. But that's that's the first time that's really happened. And yeah, he'll take a sack every now and then, but the majority of times he doesn't. He's able to escape. And I mean, I don't think Tennessee can win that game. But anyways,
Well, dropping back also gives him time, or gives Tyreek Hill time to just
exactly,
sprint
yeah.
so fast, and then you can just chuck it to Hill. Like worst case scenario,
Or
you got a
Kelsey.
chance at a touchdown.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on. We got Pittsburgh and Buffalo. So, Andrew.
well, okay, so I had picked Cleveland to win this game, but either way, no matter
my
if
bad.
it was no, it's fine because I'm about to make the same point. No matter if it was Cleveland or Pittsburgh, I think that the Bills will come out on top against either team. I feel like especially since the Bills had dominated Pittsburgh a while back, I think that the Bills offense is just too much to handle. I don't think that the Pittsburgh defense, as good as it is, or the Cleveland defense and Myles Garrett can stop this offense when they're on a roll. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take the Bills.
Oh, I'm also taking the Bills, and I'm not just taking the Bills. I think the Bills are going to blow out Pittsburgh. I think the Bills are just going to destroy them. I think, like you said, their offense is insane, incredibly powered. Josh Allen's dark horse MVP candidate, or not really a dark horse, but he is an MVP candidate. And then you have Pittsburgh, they're a good team, but I think Buffalo's defense is criminally underrated. Their defense is really good. They have a great defense, and I don't think people realize that. And I think that they're going to be able to contain that Pittsburgh offense, and the Pittsburgh defense isn't going to be able to contain Josh Allen's, offense every time. They may sometimes they'll probably force a few punts, maybe even a turnover, but I think the majority of the time that Josh Allen has the ball, it'll be a touchdown. So I'm picking Buffalo to landslide by Pittsburgh.
All right.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Buffalo too. I just think whether it's Pittsburgh or the Browns, they're gonna be able to beat both of them. So week 17, the Dolphins still had a chance at the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they could have still gone but they had to beat Buffalo. So Buffalo scored 56 points against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins needed to win, so they were trying.
Yeah, Dolphins were a good team.
Yeah, I know, and they were good, but the Bills' offense is just so powerful, and they won their last 6 games before the playoffs, 6 in a row. I think that it's going to be hard to stop them. I think they have a chance at going to the Super Bowl, but I think they're definitely going to beat either the Steelers or Browns.
Yeah, I think we all 100% agree on that. All right, we're going to go back to the NFC. The NFC, so we all picked Tampa Bay and Green Bay. So my take on this game, and I had to, when I was planning my bracket out, because I have actually drawn like a bracket out.
Same.
I was really thinking about this game, and I have to take Green Bay because I think that Aaron Rodgers he's just such a good QB, and Tom Brady is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but you've got Aaron Rodgers throwing to Devontae Adams, and they got this new halfback who's really underrated. I forget his name, so I'm gonna look that up in just a second. But he's super underrated. They were able to beat the Titans by that large of a margin. And I mean, they've been claimed as the best NFC team for pretty much the entire season. So I'm going to have to go with Green Bay over Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I am. This may upset some people. I'm picking Tampa Bay. For some reason, I think Tom Brady in the playoffs, a different breed. He's Tom Brady. Again, it's maybe a little biased, but I don't care. He's got so many weapons. Like I said, the Tampa Bay offense has been doing really well, and I'm pretty sure Tampa Bay steamrolled Green Bay earlier in the season. I'm 99% sure they did.
Yeah, I remember watching that game.
Yeah, so you know they have it in them to win, and as good as Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers and what's his name?
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. That dude, as good as they are, I don't think they can do it. I think the Bills are once again going to beat, or the Bucs are going to beat them again.
All right.
Yeah. So I just checked. The Bucs did beat the Packers 38-10 in Week 6. I don't know. Even with that, I just think the Packers are too good. I mean, I said that the Bucs would beat Washington pretty easily, and I agree with that. But Green Bay this year, they're just on a whole different level. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's had 48 pass touchdowns. I may be wrong. I just feel like I remember that number. He's just been so good, so dominant. And Aaron Jones, he hasn't faltered much this year at all. Devontae Adams, obviously, is one of the best players in the league this year. And I don't know, they've just been so consistent. I mean, there's lots of years when Green Bay is just losing random games. They only lost 3 games this year. And I just think that it's just going to be so hard. Green Bay's just on a different level this year. They're going to beat whoever they have to play. Yeah, I'm just going to take them over the Bucs.
All right, so we had different picks here. So I picked Seattle and New Orleans. So my take on this. So New Orleans, so I had just checked, and Alvin Kamara is most likely going to be out for Chicago, by the way. But assuming that he's back for the Seattle game, I still think fourth quarter, as dominant as the Saints offense is, I feel like it's going to definitely be an offensive game. But I think that the fourth quarter, Russell Wilson is just going to be too much to handle for this New Orleans offense or a defense. A lot of people might hate my decision, but I really do think Seattle is hungry for a championship this year. And I think they're going to beat New Orleans.
Yeah.
And Carter, you had picked the Rams. So
I picked the Rams against New Orleans, and I'm gonna pick the Rams again. I think the Rams are gonna win. I do. I think the Rams are the most slept on team right now. I think that they, for some reason, like I said before, with I feel like I have a gut feeling that the Rams are gonna win. I don't know, for some reason I think the Rams, they're gonna beat New Orleans. Honestly, New Orleans, as good as a team they are, they haven't been that great. You know what I mean? I feel like they're the most overrated team right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In their record, obviously, it's great. They're a good team. For some reason, once again, I think the Rams are going to do it. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. I feel like the Rams are going to win.
Well, I disagree. I mean, I don't think the Saints are that overrated. They won by a wide margin a few times. And I just don't think they're underrated. The teams they lost to, I'm checking out. They lost to the Raiders early in the season, which the Raiders early in the season were really good. Obviously, they beat the Chiefs. Let's see. They also lost to the Packers week 3. Packers were really good. They lost to the Chiefs. That's 3 of their losses to some really good teams. Their other loss was to the Eagles.
The Eagles are awful.
I think that was just their one fluke. I just think Saints have been more consistent this year. I picked Seattle to beat the Rams, but I think the Saints are gonna win over the Seahawks.
Well, another thing right there, they've had a pretty easy schedule. I'd also say, kind of like Pittsburgh. I mean, they had the Buccaneers week 1. They won. They lost to the Raiders, lost to the Packers, beat the Lions, not a great team. Beat the Chargers, not a great team. Head coach only though. They have a good build around them. In a few years, Chargers are going to be up. They're going to be up next. But they barely beat the Panthers, not a great team. Barely beat the Bears, okay team. Beat the Buccaneers by a lot actually. So good job there. Beat the 49ers, beat the Falcons, beat the Broncos, beat the Falcons again, lost to the Eagles. The Eagles are not a good team. They're an awful team. Lost to the Chiefs, a great team, probably better than them, definitely better than them. 52-33 against the Vikings. I'm pretty sure that was Alvin Kamara's game, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was.
And then they beat the Panthers. But I don't know. I don't think the Saints are that great of a team. I really don't. I don't feel it. I don't think Drew Brees is there anymore. I think he's old. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's. I mean, maybe if they start Taysom Hill, maybe. I mean, when they started Taysom Hill, they went on a really long winning streak, man. Like, start him. But I don't know. I don't think New Orleans has it.
All right, so we all have different picks for that NFC Championship game. So we're gonna skip to the AFC, going back to the AFC. Now, so I had picked the Tennessee and Bills in the championship game. So I feel like, and both of you had picked Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that the Bills can beat both of those teams. I think that the Bills have a dynamic offense. I feel like the Bills' defense is actually much better than Tennessee's. So even if Tennessee, or even if they were to play Kansas City, I think they could shut down Kansas City. So I am going to take the Bills as the winner of the AFC, just in total.
I am also going to take them as the winner. And I had Kansas City beating Tennessee. Dude, I don't know. Something about the Bills, man. I think the Bills are it. Their defense, again, criminally slept on. Criminally. I think they're going to be able to stop Mahomes a few times. And I generally don't think that the Josh Allen train can be stopped. He is so versatile. He's a lot like Mahomes in a way that he can move and get out of tackles and, evade pressure. And he can also run. Like, he's a big dude. I think he's like 6'5". Like, he is huge. And I think the Bills are going to win it. They just have too much talent.
All right. I got Chiefs and Bills in this final. I think this is going to be if it does end up being Bills and Chiefs, which I think those are the two best teams in the AFC. They have the two best records. I just think they're the two best teams. I think the Titans are going to lose. But Chiefs and Bills, I think they're very similar in a lot of ways. But I just think, first of all, that would be a wonderful game to watch. I hope it happens. Second of all, I'm gonna have to take the Chiefs simply because it's gonna be really close, but the playoff experience and the fact that the Chiefs have home field advantage. So Bills, I remember 2 or 3 years ago, the Bills were crap. I mean, they were nothing. And I'm not saying that means a lot, but the fact that the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl last year, they were did well in the playoffs the year before, I think. They've just been better the last couple of years. They've got more experience in the playoffs, and they've got home field advantage throughout. So I think with all those factors, it's going to be a close game, but the Chiefs are going to come out on top and go to the Super Bowl. That's just what I think.
Okay. All right, back over to the NFC for the championship game. We all picked different teams, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I had picked Seattle and Green Bay. So I feel like every time Seattle and Green Bay plays, Seattle wins and they come up on top. I don't want to say that's the same for this year, but the playoff Seattle team is so deadly. So, and Green Bay is on fire, obviously. So if they were fighting to the Super Bowl, in which these two teams have done like twice before in recent years, and I really think that Green Bay is gonna come out on top. I would not be surprised if Seattle won because of their offensive weapons. You got DK, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson. I think that Green Bay is the better overall team. I think Green Bay also can tear apart the Seattle defense really easily. So I'm going to have to take Green Bay in my Super Bowl.
Okay, so I have the LA Rams playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm going to pick the Bucs. I know I've been, on the LA Ram train, but I think their reign is going to end here. I think Tampa is going to beat them narrowly, actually. I think the Rams are going to put up a good fight, but Tampa will come out on top. I think that, they have so many weapons that I think they're going to be really hard to stop, man. I don't know. Tampa's been rolling recently, man. They came back big against the Falcons to show you they can come back in the game. Of course, Tom Brady, he's the GOAT at that. He's the GOAT at everything. But I don't think they can beat Tampa.
Okay, well, first of all, it's not big to come back against Atlanta in the fourth quarter. That's not.
Well, they were down like 20, so I'm just saying. The GOAT.
Still,
He's done it twice now. He's done it twice now. Once in the Super Bowl. So
yeah,
fuck it, Atlanta. But
okay,
anyway,
well, I feel like I'm not being very original because Carter, you've got the number 5 and number 6 teams.
I don't know, dude. I'm feeling bold, man. I was picking and I was like, dang, if this happens, this will be crazy.
Right.
And it's funny. It's also funny how we picked like all different teams, and this was not staged at all, by the way. Like we literally all like just picked different teams. We all have different feelings.
Yeah.
So that's just goes to show you how really up in the air it is, I guess, this year. Because I feel like last year was a definite lock on Kansas City going. But this year, so many things are up in the air. There's so many teams that are just really good. Yeah. I mean, and last year the Titans made it all the way to the AFC.
Exactly, and they were not doing well for like the first half.
First round of the Patriots.
Yeah,
like
this
wow.
is definitely going to be more entertaining.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
AFC. I mean, you got the Chiefs, the Bills, the Steelers, and the Titans. Those are 4 like super dominant teams.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a shootout. For the first year, the AFC is not like a easy choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
I've got the number 1 and 2 seeds in the NFC Championship, the Packers and Saints. I just think I'm being even less original here because I've got the number 1 seed going in both because I think the Packers, I don't know, I just feel like they've been so dominant and it's just going to be hard for any team to beat them. And the Saints have been a little less consistent. I don't know. I just feel like with Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay in the playoffs, man, they're good. And I just think they could beat the Saints. Yeah, I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
All right. So, Super Bowl time. My picks are the Bills and Green Bay. And honestly, if this match, let's get one thing straight. No matter whose matchup, whoever plays, the Super Bowl is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I can. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I can easily see pretty much any team going. Honestly, I think it's such a toss-up. Like we said earlier this year, that these predictions are so loosely based. Like we don't really know what we're doing. We're just writing down names and say, dude, this guy's gonna win. No, this guy's gonna win. I mean, it's such a toss-up. You never know. There's so many variables that go into a football game. On any day that any day the Jets can beat the LA Rams. The Jets beat the Rams.
Yeah.
So nothing is impossible, and I'm predicting the Jets to go to the semifinals. So
yeah,
you never know.
All right, so the Bills and Green Bay. This is such a tough matchup. Honestly, it is, and I feel like it would be a shootout too. It'd be an amazing Super Bowl, but I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay, and the reason why is I feel like the Bills are super unstoppable, but they do have flaws, and Green Bay's defense, in my honest opinion, can compete with this Bills offense. I don't know if they're the only defense in this entire bracket that can, but I definitely think that they will. So I'm picking Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers, who is my pick for the MVP, I think that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, I think they can really pull it together. And I think Green Bay is really hungry for a Super Bowl before Aaron Rodgers retires. So I think my pick for the Super Bowl winner is Green Bay.
Yeah, so I have Buffalo and Tampa going at it, and I'm gonna take Tampa in this one. So another Super Bowl for Brady. And now the reason the reason is I think you saw last year I'm pretty sure the Bills made the playoffs last year. I think they did.
Yeah, I think they got out in the wild card round or something.
Yeah, they had the Texans, and I remember Josh Allen. He made this.
Oh
weird,
yeah, they did have the Texans.
Play. Yeah, and I think Josh Allen, he's gonna be fine, cool as a cucumber throughout the entire playoffs until he gets to the Super Bowl, and then he's gonna crack. I don't think he's so young that I think he's just gonna crack under pressure, and he's gonna make stupid mistakes, like he did last year in the playoffs, and I think that's just gonna cause Tampa to take the cake easy. Brady, he's experienced, he's been there, a lot of times. This dude, he's the GOAT. As much as I say it way too much this episode, but he is the GOAT, and I think he's gonna prove it again in the Super Bowl, and I think he's gonna get his 7th ring. I wish it was with New England, but I'm just happy he's getting a ring either way. So I'm gonna pick Tampa.
Oh man, I don't know how you can pick. Just out of the teams in the NFC, you're gonna pick the 5 seed. I mean, the Saints, Seahawks, and Packers, they're all so good.
Man, I'm just saying, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bold prediction. I'm definitely predicting the boldest. I definitely have the boldest.
Oh, 100%.
And if I win, let's say the 3 of us have a little contest, just hypothetically. And if I win my picks, I will be laughing in each of your faces.
Yeah,
doubted me since day one. I will I'll call you and I'll be like, hey, you see the game?
You see the Super Bowl?
I won. Yeah. Brady ring number 7, baby. I don't know, man. I have been taking really risky picks, kind of, especially on the NFC side. And it's just a feeling, man. That's all I can describe it as a feeling.
It's called being a bandwagon.
It's not bandwagon, Jack. I'm a loyal Patriots fan. I love Tom Brady. Awesome. He'll forever be the best. He'll forever be in my heart a Patriot. But my Patriots aren't even in the Super Bowl this year, bro. I wanted them to tank against the Jets so we could get a better draft pick, dude. I really did. I want them to draft Kyle Pitts,
and they're most likely letting go of Cam Newton too. So that's
that kind of makes me happy. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, we're getting off topic, Carter.
Not that great. I know I'm getting off topic, but you said I'm a bandwagon, and I'm gonna
ranting now. Yeah, he's ranting now.
Yeah, you started. Look what you started. Look what you started. Yeah.
Okay, back to the point. I've got the Chiefs and Packers. I think if that happens, that would just be an amazing game.
Yeah, that is a good game.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I'm taking the number 1 picks in each, but those teams are just so dominant this season. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs. See, I'm a Packers fan. I love Aaron Rodgers, but I just think, unlike Carter, I'm not gonna go with my favorite player.
That's awesome.
Bro, do you even have a favorite player? Who's your favorite player?
Aaron Rodgers is my favorite player.
Oh, so you are going with your favorite player? What do you mean? You're predicting? Nah.
I think the Packers will be in the Super Bowl, but the Chiefs, they've just been all around better this year, and they won it last year. I think they're gonna go back to back. It's just, I don't know.
You know who went back to back before?
All right.
Okay. The Patriots in 2003 and 2004. Okay. So, haha.
Right.
Sorry.
You want to make it's just about Tom Brady?
I could see that. Like I said, I could see any of these scenarios happening. Yeah, it's so possible.
Only a few teams that don't really have a chance. Like, you look at Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, Titans, Packers, Saints, Seahawks, and Bucks, and maybe the Rams. Those teams all have a pretty good shot at going all the way.
Yeah.
So I just think it'll be so interesting this year.
Well, the funny thing is, I think there's so many toss-ups. I think there's a considerable chance that Indianapolis actually beats Buffalo. I don't think it'll happen, but I think there's a good, 70 to 30 odds that they're gonna lose. But that 30%, it's bigger than it seems. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, and that's what's so fun about these, because it's just a prediction, you know, it's just random facts. Like none of our Super Bowl predictions may end up happening.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know, it's crazy. But to recap, Andrew, who did you have to win the Super Bowl again?
So I had Green Bay to win.
Yeah. I had Tampa, and Jack, I believe you had Kansas City.
I did.
So
Yeah.
3 different picks. So this will be very interesting.
Yeah. Off camera, we're going to be placing bets and stuff.
Oh, for
But-
sure. Yeah, no. Loser, person who has the worst record gets a tattoo of Tom Brady. So
I know.
Oh,
That's
no.
a reward for you, Carter.
Yeah, facts.
face, bro.
Facts.
I'll wear that shit with pride. All right, guys. So this will be the end of episode number 3. Big thank you to Jack Gibby, our special guest. So big props to him. He did great. And yeah, so this was fun. Of course, we made our picks for the Super Bowl, all that. So thank you guys for watching so much, and we will see you again later. Bye-bye.